Hi folks, Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about this absurd and ridiculous scam that's been put upon the Western societies for years now, that we must be racially diverse, and anyone that disagrees with that or questions it is a fucking Nazi. Now, it must be imposed. It's our strength. It makes us better. It's a fucking paradise. But why is it that only white countries have to do it and other countries don't? No other race is having this imposed upon them, only the white race. Now, you'd say, well, wow, that's why only the white race? Now, that's some say, well, that's because the white races have most of the wealth in the world. Well, sure, the white race, 98% of all modern technical inventions have been by white people, whether it be organizational, technical, financial, all the innovations have been done by white people. So you would expect more wealth to gravitate towards people that are so innovative and inventive. But nonetheless, let's set that aside for a moment. Now, what does this forced racial diversity mean? It means replacement of white people. Let's call it what it is, and that's all it is. It's nothing else. We're bringing in, for the most part, lazier, less competent, third world peasants who are illiterate in their own language, and bringing those into the West to replace white people. That seems an odd way to progress a civilization. But it seems a perfect way to purposefully and willfully undermine it. Let's just have a look at this, and let's use the British Isles as an example. That's one of the key globalist targets, to sort of eradicate the white past, eradicate white history, eradicate white culture, and so on. And amongst the college kids class, the college kids, it's sort of fairly successful, really. Do you think it's wrong to have a straight white male as the monarch of the United Kingdom? Oh yeah, it's really what we should have is a fucking black lesbian. That'll just show how progressive we are and how diverse we are and how we're pursuing paradise. So that's the idiotic sort of position that people are at now, where something that's iconic going back thousands of years, it's old-fashioned, we have to have a fucking black lesbian just to show how progressive we are. Now, let's look at a comment by a historian, David Starkey, in England. He's quite a well-known historian, long-standing, and he's written many books. He's done historical documentaries about the British monarchy and various periods in British history. And I first noticed him, 25 years ago or something, and I thought he had this sort of overdone intensity and the gravitas of his delivery in his documentaries. But nonetheless, I mean, it was a pretty. I thought it was accurate, and I thought he stuck to the facts and made some interesting observations for someone like me who's a bit of a history buff. I quite enjoyed them. But recently he's come under quite a bit of attack by the globalist funded and paid for a screaming hate group, the commentariat, who shout and scream down anybody who isn't in full-throated support of the globalist project. But recently, Dr. Starkey said that he thought that the current British Prime Minister, who was not elected by the people, who was not elected by the parliamentarians, who was not elected by the party, he was simply installed by the globalists. And he took his parliamentary and political oaths of office in Hindi and swore his oath of allegiance on the Hindi religious book, the Indian religious book. And Dr. Starkey made the comment that this Indian guy who wasn't even fucking elected, who does his oath of office on Indian prayer books and that this guy isn't grounded in British culture. Not only is he Indian, very much so, And not only is he married to one of the richest Brahmin Indians in the world, not only is he also a US citizen, not only has his wife refused to take out British citizenship, not only does his wife declare his children are Indian, not only that, but the guy won't even swear on the Christian Bible to be Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. and so this historian makes the obvious assertion, or observation, not an assertion, observation that this Rishi Sunak is not a fully grounded or as grounded in British culture as a white Christian may be. Now, that's an observation. That's a statement of fact. I mean, you can't dispute that. And yet the screaming attack that Dr. Starkey was subject to, and the way it was described, vile racist rant, evil racist rant, white supremacy. I mean, the screaming headlines were an utter and gross misrepresentation of what Dr. Starkey said, and mischaracterized it, and did the other thing that they always do, is they assume intent. Well, he must have been Hitler. Hitler was seen actually just going out the back door there. So Hitler. So why attack Dr. Starkey like that for making a very obvious and very clear and really an observation that you can't dispute? But yet he was attacked nonetheless, and none of the facts about Sunak and his background and his swearing allegiance on a Hindi prayer book and so on. None of that was. Now, also, we've got a situation where Scotland's First Minister, again installed by the globalists, who takes his oath of allegiance in like a Pakistani language. This is in Britain, for fuck's sake. So this forced diversity thing, why is it not also mandatory for other countries? So when people do street interviews, any media company, alternative media company does a street interview in, wherever it is in the West, they tend to gravitate towards, the pink-haired lesbian types, who naturally say, well, the fewer white people there are, then the better it is. But then why aren't they saying, okay, well, so diversity is a strength, that diversity, okay, you've got to, lock them into position there and then say, okay, well, why do they have a Japanese prime minister in Japan? I mean, how fucking Nazi is that? They should have a fucking black lesbian there too. Why don't they? You've got to get to Japan right now and you've got to wave a placard there. You've got to show those motherfuckers that they're not being diverse enough. And if they're not being diverse enough, it means they're fascist. And if it means they're fascist, it means they're Nazi. And if they're Nazi, it means they're Hitler. So you have to go and do that. Surely, if it's good for Britain and white country, it must be good for everywhere. Oh, no. Only white countries have to have this diversity, and it will only be strong in white countries. It will? I mean, wow. Okay. All right, then. So racial diversity doesn't matter anywhere else in the world. It's only important in white countries. Well, holy fuck. I didn't know that. But it illustrates, I believe, this idea that replacing white people that are raising white history or raising white culture is somehow a universal good, but no other culture must be so denigrated and crushed, whether partially or fully, in the way that white culture and history and white people must be. I mean, I don't know why interviews don't ask, well, you're white. Why don't you just go and top yourself right now, in front of me? I mean, just to show your commitment to diversity. But the absurdity of it, you have white people now, particularly the younger ones, and the pink-haired lesbian types, advocating aggressively for the abolition of their own race. And has this ever happened in human history? Has it ever happened? And yet we have a massive globalist machine through the education system and the media and so on, all globalist funded. Our own politicians are complicit in this, that is laser focused on the eradication of the white race and the white history, white culture, everything to do with white achievement. So the highest achieving race of people, certainly in modern history, by far, but by 98% of all inventions are by white people. The highest achieving race in human history, and certainly in modern history, is to be eradicated. I mean, holy fuck! It's never happened in the history of the world, and it's got to represent, in my view, a level of insanity that you can barely calculate or understand. You've been a Tassus today at your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.